Okay, we'll start with this. This past weekend, reigning WBC champion of Mexico, Camila Zamorano beat Claudia Ruiz to retain her atomweight world title. Zamorano, 14-0 with 1 KO, has now made 2 world title defenses, barely 4 months after being elevated to assume uncharted territory as the sport's youngest reigning world champion, having pitched a shutout against Sana Hazuki in October of last year. This was more competitive, and the scorecards were still rather one-sided after 20 minutes of action, much to the frustration of some critics on social media.
I don't really think it's a question of who won so much as by how much.
Local judge Adriana Aguilon Mesa had her winning virtually every minute, while fellow Mexican Martin Canizales and California's Edward Calantes were more complimentary in the Argentines' favor. Unafraid to trade in the pocket, negating her physical advantages, Zamorano looked slick en route to an early lead on the cards through 6 rounds. Ruiz's smile of acknowledgement said all you needed to know in the early goings, throwing plenty, but being undone by Zamorano's jab and combination punching at mid-range. Whenever she strayed away from the high defense guard, the teenager looked to punish her with a variety of flurries, from uppercuts and hooks to work downstairs. The 28-year-old needed to keep their exchanges at short range, but maintaining offensive discipline to do so was an exhausting task. Sneaky body shots scored for the champion in rounds 2 and 4, while Ruiz amusingly wheeled away to celebrate a faux knockdown midway through round 3. When Zamorano lost her footing, the challenger's arms weren't aloft for long. Zamorano always looked for the final say whenever they engaged within close quarters, to land first and last, while being skilled enough to have the freedom of choice, wade into the fire or sidestep it.
It's the luxury of choice created by Camila's statuesque frame. She's got the Gabby Fundora thing going on, to where she's very tall for the weight, very long. Long legs make for long strides. If she wants to be aggressive and front foot heavy, she can be physically imposing, but if she wants to move and punch, wants to box, she'd cover a lot of ground in just a few steps.
Camila chants reverberated around the champion's hometown as she unloaded more work in the 6th, and undeterred, Ruiz nonetheless persisting with her forward pressure to throw punches and keep her on the move. Even if 3 scores didn't show it, Ruiz's endeavor worked a treat down the stretch, as Zamorano didn't have matters all her own way. Judging from the first few rounds, you could be forgiven for thinking so. Being tagged with more shots in the previous 2 frames only encouraged Zamorano to stand and trade during a fiery 9th round, rather than box smart and use her physicality to keep Ruiz at the end of her punches. The final stanza had flashes of fury, but while Ruiz climbed to the top rope to celebrate in her corner after the final bell, it was the 18-year-old who emerged victorious after a deceptively difficult evening's work. Bear in mind that she's only 18 years old, and she's already a world champion. She's already very good. There's more work needs doing, more to learn, but she's off to a fantastic start. After the fight, I saw that Amandia Serrano, one of the sport's best, acknowledged the young fighter, and I thought to myself, Camila Zamorano could do with MVP's promotion.
We know that they've been going on a signing spree since last year.
Some signings that made a lot more sense than others, some more curious, that signing Camila Zamorano, you could do a lot worse than sign that fighter. It's a foot in the door in the future of women's boxing, signing one so young and developing the fighter not just into an elite level fighter, but a draw, an actual draw, a fighter of Mexican descent. And we all know that Mexicans in the United States move the needle for boxing.
There are 2 other champions in the atomweight division where the IBF title still remains vacant. Somebody's got to pick it up.
This is all as a result of Tina Ruprecht's retirement, who up until recently reigned as this division's undisputed champion. When she decided to bow out, the belts got redistributed. Now a new crop of champions has sprung up from the ground, and Camila is one among them.
Congratulations to her. I predicted that she would hang on to her alphabet title a while longer. After a while, she's going to have to start targeting the other champions. As young as she is, when you've got a belt, the training wheels come off, and she'll need to unify to prove she's the best.
Oh, swerve in the world of boxing, no more excuses. Manny Pacquiao is eager to settle the score with Floyd Mayweather. Speaking of excuses, after the fight, Manny was the only one who made them. Today, Manny Pacquiao appeared on ESPN to talk about his upcoming rematch with Floyd Mayweather set to take place this fall. Speaking about the fight, Pacquiao explains how this came together, why they're doing it now, and why he's confident he'll be able to put on a good showing for the fans. Manny Pacquiao, unlike Floyd Mayweather, has still been engaging in professional boxing matches. Not that long ago, he shared the ring with the likes of Mario Barrios, though if you needed any indication that Manny's not what he used to be, it's the outcome of the fight. It resulted in a draw. That's the kind of guy Manny would have chewed up and spat out in his prime.
It is, but it's not like Floyd's any closer to his prime than Manny.
Pacquiao on why he's rematching Mayweather now. It just happened that I'm still active in boxing, and he came out of retirement, and he decided to do it again. So I'm excited for the fight.
Of course he did. Floyd Mayweather needs the biggest score he can get right now, and the biggest score he can get is with Manny, much to his chagrin.
On what he can take away from the fight so long ago to bring into this one, I learned a lot from that fight. I think we became mature right now and how to handle it, and I hope that it will not happen again like the way it was in 2015. The experience is not really 100%, but I'm hoping for this time around, no more excuses, especially to my condition and everything. Before, he wanted an exhibition with me, but I disagreed. I wanted a real fight like this. So this is it. This is what I'm waiting for.
And this is what makes the fight appealing after all these years, that it's not a waltz. It's not just a glorified sparring session. They're fighting. There's something on the line. Even if it's not a belt,
it's Mayweather's unbeaten record, which I think to Manny is a lot more valuable than just a trinket. On whether or not he's more likely to deal with a training camp injury at this age, well, both of us are disciplined fighters, so him and me, we're taking care of our bodies and almost work out every day. I still can fight. I feel like I'm still young. Nothing changed. On Floyd turning 49 today, and any birthday wishes for him, well, for me, I'm always wishing him more birthdays to come, good health, and may God bless him and protect him, always, and give him good health.
So what are the odds that Manny can do better in the second fight than he did in the first one? Floyd is the cerebral one, and oftentimes, it's the cerebral fighter that makes all the adjustments for a rematch. The way Floyd beat him before was reflexes and timing to control the distance at which the fight is being fought and catch Manny with the counters at the door, but that was a long time ago.
Can he still do that?
Those 49-year-old legs haven't had to move that fast in high-level, high-tension situations, but very soon, they're gonna have to.
Can they?
What's important to note is that this fight is being fought under very different auspices than their initial meeting. Showtime, HBO, they're not involved. Al Heyman, Top Rank,
they're not involved either. Long time ago, it was established that Floyd Mayweather was the more influential one, the A-side, as it were. I don't think in 2026 his name holds the same value, that this is in some ways more even terrain than when they initially fought.
On the subject of their ages and whether or not that makes them more prone to injury, Manny can say that he feels young, that he feels amazing, but they are now reconsidering whether or not they want to go ahead with that Provodnikov exhibition after the announcement of the Mayweather rematch.
Potential injuries is why.
Manny Pacquiao has not yet finalized an exhibition fight ahead of his highly anticipated September 19th rematch against Floyd Mayweather. Jas Mathur, CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, told ESPN on Tuesday, Banner Promotions, which promotes retired former junior welterweight champion Ruslan Provodnikov, announced in a press release last week that Pacquiao would make his return to the ring April 18th to face Provodnikov in a 10-round exhibition at the Thomas & Mack Center in Vegas.
You remember Ruslan Provodnikov? Guy looks like a hairless groundhog. Fight that he had with Timothy Bradley. That was a good one. Up until this announcement, he was supposed to be having an exhibition with Manny, but now they're reconsidering it for obvious reasons.
Mathur confirmed the exhibition fight with Provodnikov was under consideration, but he told ESPN that it was not official, despite the fact tickets for the event are being sold on Pacquiao's website.
It's not official, or else you would have seen a lot more announced by Manny directly on that, Mathor told ESPN. I would have also participated in that, and it is just not official. Mathor said, it is also possible that Pacquiao doesn't face Provodnikov at all ahead of the Mayweather fight. Provodnikov has not fought since 2016. Will there be another exhibition potentially for Manny before the Mayweather fight? Yes, there will, Mathor said. I can't say if it'll be that one or if it'll be something else, but as of right now, that particular fight is not done. The Pacquiao Mayweather rematch, which was announced this past Monday, will take place at the Sphere in Las Vegas and will be streamed globally on Netflix. Given what he stands to make from the Mayweather rematch, you don't jeopardize that to scrape a few dollars with Ruiz, who's a rough and rugged fighter. He always has been. He's a slugger. You don't gamble an injury, a cut,
A sprain,
a strain of any kind when you already know you stand to make millions upon millions of dollars on Netflix boxing Floyd again in a rematch he didn't used to want to give you, but he'll give it to you now. While Pacquiao weighs his options over a potential bout before September 19th, Mayweather is set to face Mike Tyson in an exhibition this spring, though no date, venue, or network has been announced for that fight. Pacquiao last fought in July of 2025 when he returned from a 4-year retirement and battled then WBC champion Mario Barrios to a majority draw.
What applies to Manny also applies to Floyd. You don't jeopardize all the millions and millions of dollars you stand to make with Manny in a rematch in an exhibition with Mike.
The fact that so little of the details have been ironed out for that exhibition that's supposed to be right around the corner, I would not be surprised if it doesn't happen.
I've been skeptical from the moment it was announced, because at what weight are those two guys supposed to meet anyway? Floyd is a lot lighter than Mike.
And now committed to a Pacquiao rematch, the discrepancy in weight between the both of those opponents is great enough. It's possible the Mike Tyson exhibition doesn't happen, and given the location, said it's supposed to be going down in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, an odd site for a fight like that. What was that gonna pay out? Who was putting that together? And who was gonna stream it?
That shit might not happen.
I don't know that Netflix has any involvement in that show, but we know that they're involved with this one, so this is the priority. The money he stands to make from this.
Smaller than him. I look smaller, I look bigger, nobody's around. Yeah. Everywhere. I talked with Nate. Like that, we will see the results, and we want, in my opinion, the fights for him, only 3 options in my opinion. It is Arthur or Bevel or Witaya and Cruiserweight. Yeah, we want to do big. We want to do big. Yeah, the next step is big. Yeah, we need to see. I give them everything. And I said to them, I got the green light. They're crazy, you know? They're crazy. They're wasting time. And then I tell them, don't wait for us. Let him be busy until someone of the crazy accepts.
Yeah. Well, we're ready. We're trying to make the biggest fights happen.
Yeah, this
like
is
we're saying, what do the people in Rio say? They enjoyed the fight, huh?
Yeah. It's beautiful. And now we have a big cards also, the Mexican card. We can talk.
Well, remember you told me you were going to give me Canelo. No, what happened with that?
Oh, the camera's on.
I want to tell you something. There is something we can do, and there is something we cannot do. Okay? Of course, I want to see this fight. Yeah, but maybe when he's 40.
You want it now?
Yeah.
You want it now?
Exhibition.
Yeah. Well, we're ready whenever.
We'll talk with it. We will talk with it.
I made a joke many months ago that you'll see David Benavidez at some point move up to the cruiserweight division, weigh in at a full-blown 200 pounds, and still keep harping about Canelo Alvarez.
He cannot let it go.
Which to me at this point is cringeworthy, because whether or not you're angry that Canelo never fought him at this point is besides the point. It's over!
It's over! Nothing is over! Nothing!
Not for David Benavidez, not when he's still hounding Turkey El Sheikh about a Canelo Alvarez fight. Canelo, who's still at 168, You're at cruiser.
At what weight is this fucking fight supposed to even happen?
And I think David Benavidez is going schizophrenic. I mean that. Because he goes up to Turkey El Sheikh, he asks him about Canelo Alvarez, and then he says this.
The thing I've made it very clear about myself that I'm not going to wait for Canelo. So it feels good, but as of, it feels good to be in my own lane and doing, other stuff, and I'm able to get my glory besides just that one Canelo fight. But to be honest with you, you guys are always going to be interested in that fight, so that question is never going to leave. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, the fans deserve that fight. Whether it happens, whether it doesn't, I don't know. But if it's possible to make it happen one day, we're ready for whatever.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I mean? He turns around, tells a member of the media he's not going to wait for Canelo, but he's the one brought Canelo up. Him and his father. I saw what you did. If he's still in the conversation, it's because yous guys are keeping him there. And for what?
Why?
How many podcasts have you seen this guy on where he says Canelo doesn't want to fight? He doesn't want to fight. If he doesn't want to fight, why the fuck do you keep talking about it? What do you want from him? What do you want from him? You want sex? Sex? The only reason I can think of they'd still be bringing up this guy knowing that the fight isn't going to happen is as a promotional tool, because the biggest part of promoting David Benavidez is mentioning Canelo Alvarez. Without that, he's just not that interesting. Even if there are other fights on the table, like the B-Vol fight or the Better B fight, that would pay good money because Turkey's kicking it out.
Before I could see, two Russian fighters, even if they are champions, only sell but so much in the United States. But things are different now. Because those are fights that Turkey wants to make, you'll make millions. How is Canelo still a talking point?
You'll make millions for Dimitri, millions for Artur, millions more for Jai Opataya. And you know what it is?
What?
What it is. David doesn't really want those fights. He doesn't really want those guys because he's scared he'll lose. He's not going to say that.
Why is he so mad at Canelo Alvarez? Because in his mind, he feels like Canelo waited him out to the point he couldn't make the weight anymore, couldn't stay at 168. And now
he's got to fight bigger guys. Bigger guys than the guys at 168, better fighters than the fighters at 168. He resents Canelo Alvarez for this.
Why are you mad?
Should be happy you don't have to boil down to 168. If Canelo's been avoiding you for this amount of time, you should be happy that you have other options, and yet, you're the one that's still focused on him. He's got the stand thing going on.
Dear Canelo, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I just want you to open your mouth so that I can put my balls in. Watch him fall in front of all them, because I'm really just a fat kid at heart who likes to fight old men, small men. Your fans like to cook me.
Why?
Look at my stomach and then call me a weight bully.
You don't get your fat fucking ass up to cruiserweight and shut the hell up about Canelo.
Enough already.
Telling you the guy's going schizophrenic. He's moved on, he didn't move on, the fans want it, he's in his own lane now, but
But I don't understand why he doesn't want to fight me. Because the fans.
the fucking fans. Enough about the fucking fans. The fucking fans know it's not gonna happen.
You's the one didn't get the memo.